What is the meaning of our life? What is that of death? Is everything we see an illusion? Are we really living while we are living? And after death, does our consciousness cease to exist? Are we more than our bodies? Why live life when we all have to die one day? Do we have an immortal soul? After death, are we reborn? If yes, then will we be humans in our next life? Are we the mere products of a giant cosmic accident? Or does our life have a purpose? A definite purpose? Purpose?
Where the hell am I? My head hurts really bad. Who are you? Why can't I see you properly? Oh, I'm really feeling dizzy. I want to get out of here.
Please don't try to get up from the chair. It will not be of much use now. Who am I or what am I should not be your prime concern now. What you should think is what I am going to give you. You have to calm down now. These things are not going to help you. You are always like this, impatient and fool. It's time to talk and put some sense in you.
Why should I tell you if I don't know who the hell you are? Have you given me any hallucination? Tell please, am I kidnapped?
Hallucinogen? No. Kidnapped? Sort of. Permanently kidnapped would be more appropriate. You are obviously quite dead, but haven't you been always so? You have no other choice except for believing my words. Let me make myself a bit clearer then. I am the accountant. I will answer any of your queries about your life so that you don't remain confused in stage 2. You look a bit surprised? Yes, you should be. You are in stage 1 of post-life soul processing after your death. It's just a process that you get acquainted with slowly. So let's not waste any more time. Start asking me any questions that confuse your life, or else I'll ask you some.
If you really are who you claim to be, then tell me something which only I should know.
The money, 3 lakhs, with which you bought your own car.
was actually not yours. It was found by you in a car which crashed with another car while you were driving through the woods. Both the drivers were dead and so were the passengers. The road was completely empty. You quietly sneaked into one of the cars, saw a briefcase there, you opened it, saw the bundles of cash and you fled from the scene. You needed the money though.
I needed the money for my father's operation. But he was already dead when I reached the hospital. I could not find any better use of this money. You must be one of the detectives investigating the case.
I can give you thousands of such incidents. Still, you will doubt me. You are afraid of spiders, but you don't show it in front of everybody. You brought cheats for your board exams, but you didn't use those. You are colorblind. You saw it 2 days back at your officer's eye checkup camp. You tried to ignore it when the doctor asked.
Okay, stop. No more. I say I believe you and I'm dead. So what? I'm glad that I got rid of that miserable life. It gave me nothing. It took away everything I treasured. My life had no meaning, no purpose. Tell me, why it happened like that? Aren't you supposed to be happy in our life?
You aren't supposed to be happy in your life. You really have to work hard in order to make your life happy. You are born as one among the highest forms of life as a man. Aren't you happy with that?
Man? I may have been born as a man, but I surely didn't die as one. I, or rather my life, has turned myself worse than an animal. You want me to tell you why? Let me start from my childhood. I was born in a family which could just make its both and mate. I was a single child of my parents. I was extremely close to my mother. But suddenly, when I was 9, my mother, she passed away. I was completely devastated then. My grandfather and my grandmother followed. The only remaining person closest to me was my father. After her death, he was nothing more than a living corpse. My existence didn't seem to concern him much anymore. Friends, I didn't have any with whom I could talk or share my feelings. With no one to take care of me, I started to roam the streets. Overall, I had a bad teenage. From my life, I learned a thing, not to dream big. The bigger the dream, the bigger the disappointment. After my high school, I enrolled myself in a graduate college. This was the time I took refuge in drinking and smoking. This kept my mind away from my sorrows, though I knew these were ruining me physically and spiritually. Morality? Now at this point of my life, or whatever you tell it, I give a damn about morality. Back then, I thought these virtues and principles were an integral part of my life for making me a better human being. The more I lived life, the more I realized how immaterial these things are. My relationship with my father became worse. I completed my graduation and somehow managed to get a job in a bank. But my father, he was never satisfied with my achievements. Never. I asked, what gives him the right to question about my achievements? He never cared of what I did. Then, why this show of dissatisfaction? The hatred for my father took a permanent place in my heart. You see, I am so degraded that I didn't even hesitate to rob the dead of their money. The line between right and wrong had become very much blurred to me. In every sphere of my life, I never got what I wanted. I saw people getting whatever I wanted and noticed how they have never realized their true values. Why this injustice? Why I was never gifted with any special thing, with anything which would make me happy? Why happiness is always a distant dream for me? No, I ask this, what was the purpose of my living? What purpose?
You have a lot of hatred in you for the injustice you suffered at the hands of your fate in life. Calm down, my son. It's time for you to realize something. Your purpose in life was for you to find, at which I must admit a bit harshly that you failed miserably. But at the same time, I must also admit that you were compelled to think of your life as you do now because your circumstances forced you to do so. You received no opportunities to prove your worth in life. Your life was a miscalculation of the Department of Fortune. They are extremely sorry for that. But billions of souls like you out there in the universe face worse situations. Otherwise, why should there be poverty, inequality, or unhappiness all around? Some fight their way out of it when opportunities favor them and they work hard. Some remain entrapped in this web and grow tired of their lives like you. Sadly, these are all part of the miscalculations which are somewhat inevitable for the continuation of life in this universe. But we try really hard to correct our mistakes. Didn't you realize why you died so young? At the age of 29 years, 10 months, 6 days, 2 hours, 3 minutes and 2 seconds? Because we wanted you to. Your life had become a complete mess. You had grown bitter, thought only about yourself, and were filled with poison from inside. We felt sorry for you because you were not yet corrupted from inside, and still you were not as bad as you thought yourself to be. My seniors were pained. This couldn't be allowed to continue. Everything has got a saturation level, so here you are now, an agonized soul, a restless spirit. Do you believe my words by somewhat now?
Do I have any other choice?
Don't worry. Your soul has qualified for the scheme of rebirth. I am forwarding my recommendation to stage 2. If everything goes well in the next stages, you will be born with a better scoop of fortune in your next life. Though you will not be remembering this conversation when you go to stage 2 or later. Your soul will be somewhat relieved of the worries of your previous life. Start afresh, my son. As for the purpose and meaning of life, that is for everyone to find out for themselves, because nobody will answer this the same as the next person. Your goal should be to make the world better for you as well as for others to live. Find your passion, live for it. Be unselfish in this life. Your fortune will be favoring you. Cheer up, my boy. You are getting a second chance.
If an iota of this is true, and it isn't a dream, I suppose I will try. Do you have a name?
I have been given many names over the years, but the most popular one is Chitragupta.
powerful.